ever wonder what happens when a streaming giant tries to build a new James Bond? Amazon took a massive swing with investing over $200 million in a globe-trotting spy thriller. But the gamble hasn't quite paid off. Richard Madden and Priyanka Chopra star as agents of Citadel, a fallen independent spy agency. They battle the shadowy Manticore organization, attempting to restore order and stability. Supporting them are Citadel agents worldwide, featured in spin-offs unfortunately, both spin-offs have been canceled after just one season. This is especially surprising given the initial investment and the fact that Amazon renewed the series before the first season even aired. Originally was pitched as Amazon's answer to the James Bond franchise, a flagship series to rival 007. It was the second most expensive series ever created, trailing only Amazon's. However, was an attempt to replace Bond, a risky move that needed to succeed. Early production was plagued with issues. The reports surfaced of reshoots, competing cuts, and internal division among the crew. The initial budget of $160 million quickly ballooned to over $200 million, with some estimates reaching $300 million. And despite the massive expense, the first season received a lukewarm reception from critics. And reviewers found this show perfectly adequate, but lacking the spark to justify the enormous investment. And they, for a smaller series, this might have been acceptable, but for a potential franchise, it was a death knell. The Russo brothers, known for their work on Marvel films, were involved, and the spin-offs reinforced the ambition. However, like their films and struggled to win over critics and audiences, Amazon couldn't predict the failure of the Russo bros, but the lukewarm reception of Complemented, another action-packed James Bond competitor, would have been a warning sign. Both and were canceled after a single season, leaving their storylines unfinished. And Amazon plans to merge their plots into the second season of the original series. The cancellation of the spin-offs feels like an admission of defeat, or the spin-offs and what's worse, Amazon's acquisition of the James Bond franchise itself renders largely redundant there. And the show was pitched as Amazon's version of 007, but now that they own James Bond, the glorified imitation isn't necessary. It hasn't cultivated its own dedicated fan base to sustain it independently. And can season 2 save the franchise? But it's a tough ask. It is affect even a stunning espionage thriller won't matter if viewers didn't connect with the initial concept. It seems Amazon spent a fortune trying to invent a spy when they could have just let James Bond do the work. They say it's easier to get a reservation at a fancy restaurant than to build one from scratch. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time,